News, events, and stories abound in the state system. ATN's appetite for in-depth, unbiased, and factual reporting is the principle for this program in order to bring government activities to the doorstep of the people. Our topics for today in the FCT: INEC debunks alleged results manipulation in Yangoji polling unit. On the power sector, government secures $700,000 grants to electrify schools and hospitals. In the aviation sector, Kayamo assures demolition of fire-ravaged airports, toll terminal. Unpaid wages, Labour gives federal government deadline. Open for advert placements, news and events coverage, personality, society and political interviews, product service promotion and commercials. Watch us live on www.atlanticnetwork.tv, Able TV channel 205, Alemix TV platform, Ifestec platform, Apple TV, Niger TV, Iroko TV. Connect with us on our ATN socials. Subscribe, like and share. Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, on Twitter now X, Atlantic TV Net. We'll go on a short break, and when we return, we will continue with the rest of the stories. Please stay with us. Welcome back, and thank you for staying with us. Today with us on the show, we have our special guest, Barrister Mekini Fineface Amadi. Thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you so much.
I hope you're having a great day, sir. All right, thank you so much. So let's dive right into the stories that we have for today. The first one is the Independent National Electoral Commission has dismissed allegations of vote manipulation at Koroko Health Center polling unit in Yangoji Ward, Kwali Area Council, describing the claims as false and misleading. INEC state reports circulating on social media allege that a political party scored 1,219 votes at the polling unit despite having only 345 registered voters and 213 accredited voters during Saturday's area council election. In a statement, the Commission explained that the controversy resulted from a clerical error by the presiding officer, who initially recorded 122 votes for the All Progressives Congress. INEC said an open recount was immediately conducted at the polling unit, which confirmed the correct figure as 121 votes. The error was cancelled and corrected before the result was finally submitted. The Commission added that the Corrected results was uploaded to its INEC result viewing portal and used throughout the collation process, with party agents present signing the result sheets. INEC further noted that its bimodal voter accreditation system prevents overvoting as entries cannot exceed the number of accredited voters. The Commission urged the public to rely on verified information, assuring voters that safeguards remain in place to protect the integrity of the electoral process. I would love to ask Barrister Fineface, with independent Electoral Commission saying it was just, a clerical mistake, does this show human errors can still affect election credibility?
Okay. Sure, very well correct. Human error can affect election credibility. Why do I say so? It is human that conducts the election. And so every error you get is by human. Despite the fact that we do partial voting this currently, it is still human that imputes figures into the electronics or the computer, the machines which they use for their elections. So definitely human error affects the credibility of elections.
All right, sir. So with all of these happenings, are Nigerians, or will Nigerians still be confident enough, in INEC's voting technology, or should there rather be a more transparent way of handling this during the elections?
Well, the only way which would have created that confidence in Nigeria is via the electronic transmission, which is not absolutely or completely resolved. So I doubt that Nigerians will have that confidence in the system or in the conduct of elections. When you look back to 2023, when the Electoral Act was amended and electronic transmission was introduced, a lot of citizens were interested in the election until it came the way it came, and the hope was shattered, that the interest was no more there, that confidence was lost. So I think the INEC need a better way to conduct their elections to build that confidence in the mind of the electorate. Frankly speaking, average Nigerian, or if I would say 70% of our populations or voters does not have that confidence in INEC. So that becomes a problem. You can see what happened in Abuja in the recent election. The turnout was low. Why? Has anybody asked why the turnout was low? Because the people believe that even if we come here and cast our votes, exercise our legal rights, the electoral umpire will still do what they want to do with the persons they want to be in the office. So I think that is the reason why there was a low turnout in Abuja. So, but then it shouldn't be a reason or a deterring factor, because if we leave it for the INEC and those of them that do their things with INEC the way they do it, all this electoral malpractice, and it will still continue. But if we keep that faith alive, that hope alive, and come out to do what we do and stand to defend our votes, I think there will be a reduction of malpractices, electoral malpractices. So, but speaking of the confidence of Nigerians being confident that elections are credible, I don't believe that Nigerians have that confidence.
All right, thank you so much for your contribution on that story. So the next story that we have says the Rural Electrification Agency has secured a $700,000 grant from the ECOWAS Commission to electrify 15 public health and education institutions across the country using solar photovoltaic systems. The funding support followed the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the agency and the action under the regional off-grid electricity access projects. According to a statement by the agency, the agreement provides grant funding from ECOWAS for the electrification of public health and education facilities located in the Federal Capital Territory, Niger State and Nasarawa State. Following the signing of the MOU with ECOWAS, the Rural Electrification Agency also entered into a separate agreement with the Niger State government to facilitate state-level collaboration and co-financing for selected project sites within the state that marks the formal commencement of Nigeria's pilot implementation phase under the Regional Off-Grid Electricity Access Project, a regional initiative supported by the World Bank to expand off-grid electricity access across West Africa and the Sahel. Under the agreement, ECOWAS provided $700,000 to support installation of solar photovoltaic systems in rural health centers and schools, and the project will be implemented by the REA as the technical and financial implementing agency. So, sir, I would love to ask Barrister Fineface, how significant is the $700,000 support from the ECOWAS Commission in improving electricity access for rural hospitals and schools? Because I believe this is not the first time that we are having, this happenings.
You see, this grant is very significant to particularly the rest of Nigerians. One of the challenges of Nigeria is power challenges. So if the ECOWAS has granted a $700,000 electrification grant, it will go a long way in helping particularly those institutions that are beneficiary of those grants. What is that students in those schools, we have a conducive environment of learning. The healthcare sectors that receive that or recipient of these grants will also improve or increase in their caregiving. So it is very significant, very, very significant.
All right, sir. So what impacts could this, projects by the Rural Electrification Agency have on healthcare and education in communities without reliable power?
Okay, if these grants will be fully implemented, the purpose of these grants is fully achieved, it will make a lot of difference in these institutions, whether the education or the health. It will make a lot of difference. It will change a lot of things. Now, if there needs to be a section to be carried out, let's say in the health sector, in the healthcare sector.
Healthcare sector.
Yes. If there is a need to carry out a cesarean section without electricity, you see they will advise such patients to be moved to the town or the cities, the nearest to where they live, that they have power supply. So if these hospitals, this clinic or that will receive these grants, and the grant is being used for what it is granted for, such transfer will not happen. So those health facilities will now conduct those sections that they ought to have conducted where there was no light. So that is a positive input or impact.
Okay.
You get?
Yes.
In the education, for those institutions that benefited from these grants, they will have lights, It means that the students will learn under a conducive environment where they have what they call it light and fan generating or reducing the heat. In most educational or classrooms today, they don't have electricity. And when you go there, it's like the students are under the oven, a baking oven. So with this grant now, this issue of no light will be reduced. A failure of power will be reduced because the society is gradually migrating to solar energy, and this grant is for the installation of solar energy. What it means is that there won't be need for buying diesel, there won't be need for buying generator on daily basis to see that the plant is powered and electricity is supplied. What this means is that the solar power powers the facilities, and the facilities is powered with electricity. So it will boost every aspect of the education, particularly the student in the class. But the problem here is, will these grants be implemented as it's granted? Will it be fully implemented in our Nigerian system, where once a person received money for a particular project, they decide to do with the money with what they want to do with it, leaving what the money was given out for? So that is the question we should ask ourselves. But if this project, this grant is executed, implemented in full, I tell you, it's a good one. It's a good one.
All right, thank you so much for your contribution on that story. We'll go on a short break now, and when we return, we will continue with the rest of the stories. Please stay with us. Welcome. Thank you for staying with us. Welcome back. Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus KMO, has inspected the level of destruction caused by Monday's ravaging fire and has assured the demolition of the fire-ravaged airport's old terminal, while victims who were hospitalized are now responding to treatment at a health facility in Lagos. He said the terminal, which was slated for refurbishment, will be pulled down and a temporary terminal from where the few airlines operating from the facility will now operate has reached an advanced stage, and while the building had already been marked for redevelopment. The fire resulted in significant operational losses. Kayamo also said evacuation of personnel and agencies from the facility had already been underway before the incident, adding that the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria had concluded arrangements to relocate operators to a temporary terminal constructed by the China Civil Engineering Construction Company. The minister, however, expressed deep concern over the loss of vital aviation infrastructure, particularly meteorological and operational equipment located on the upper floors of the building, and also recalled that a ravaging fire disrupted operations at the old terminal of the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Lagos, on Monday, triggering diversions, compounding travel delays, and operational uncertainty across airlines, I beg your pardon. Barrister Fineface, I would love to ask, with Festus KMO promising to demolish the damaged terminal, does this show Nigeria needs to, upgrade its airport facilities more urgently? Is there a need for us to upgrade, the airport facilities more urgently?
Well, what it shows is that every facilities that need upgraded should be upgraded. We must not wait, or Nigeria must not wait until when the facilities are broken down completely or maybe destroyed by fire like the recent one before they begin to do an upgrade. The world is evolving and activities are changing daily. Facilities also are upgraded. So if there is need for upgrade of any of the airports, it should be done. Nigeria must not wait until when it is completely destroyed, whether by a fire or any other means, or deteriorate by lapse of time. We must not wait for it to get to that level before it is being upgraded.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. So I would love to ask, after this, fire disruption at the airport, what do you think should be done, to prevent something like that from happening again?
The question is, have they investigated the cause of this fire outbreak? Because that's where you begin to get an answer and begin to talk of prevention. If there is a proper investigation and the cause of this fire outbreak or the source of the fire outbreak is discovered, then the step to prevent it should be taken. But what I don't know, and I am yet to hear, is the report of the investigation as to the cause of that fire outbreak. What caused it? It is from what caused it that you will now know how to prevent it. But what's important is that there must be a preventive mechanism of such fire outbreak in facilities like an airport, where thousands of persons are always there.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for your contribution on that story. So the last story that we have, I'm just going to take one question from that story because of time. It says, organized labor in the Federal Public Service has issued a Friday ultimatum to the federal government to release funds to settle 3 months outstanding wage award and other pending allowances owed workers in ministries, departments and agencies. Of the Joint National Public Service Negotiating Council, Labor warned that failure to meet its Friday, February 27, 2026 deadline would compel the 8 unions in the civil service to take decisive action. They accused the federal government of deliberately withholding funds meant for workers, despite agencies reportedly being ready to process payments once funds were resolved. The wage award dispute, which has lingered for over 2 years, followed the federal government's approval of a 70,000 naira minimum wage after the removal of fuel subsidy. Labour leaders said while partial payments were made after sustained pressure, 3 months remained unpaid since July 2024, creating growing tension within the federal workforce. Addressing the matter in a letter to the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, the union stated this wage award has dragged on for over 2 years now since the implementation of 70,000 naira minimum wage payment was approved. The unions recalled that the wage award was approved as a cushioning a measure following fuel subsidy removal and was to run until the commencement of the new minimum wage implementation in July 2024. So, Barrister Fineface, with the National Public Service Negotiating Council giving a deadline, will workers go on? Do you think it's okay for workers to go on strike if they are not paid?
You see, our economy, the economy of Nigeria, is not that economy.
Okay. We sincerely apologize for that technical issue. But this is where we wrap it up on this edition of Government and Public Service Report on Atlantic Television Network in the city of Port Harcourt. We're open for advert placements, news and events coverage, personality, society and political interviews, product service promotion and commercials. Watch us live on www.atlanticnetwork.tv, Able TV channel 205, Limex TV platform, Ifestec platform, Apple TV, Nigeria TV, Iroko TV. And you can also connect with us on 18 socials, subscribe, like and share. Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1. On Twitter now X at Atlantic TV Net. Your other ways to progress. Thank you for watching. I am Francis Neka.
The board, management and staff of Morrison Media Group presents the 2026 anniversary celebration lecture of Morrison Media Group. Theme: Media's role in shaping social change, addressing inequities and empowering voices. Chairman Alex Ndudi Enebele, FSM, President, Institute of Strategic Management of Nigeria, Chartered. Keynote speaker, Professor Armstrong Idachaba, Professor of Media and Broadcasting Communication. Panelist, Professor Chris Ochonogo, Immediate Past Head of Department, Journalism and Media Studies, University of Port Harcourt. Dr. Ijoma Tobosia, Secretary, NUJ, River State. Dr. Sarah Joe, University Orator and Associate Dean, Faculty of Communication and Media, River State University, Port Harcourt. Dr. Ibiere Koki, Ignatius Aju University of Education, Rumolomini, Port Harcourt. Chief Host, Dr. Chinyere Igwe, Esquire, Chairman, Morrison Group. Date: Tuesday, 10th March 2026. Venue: Gate Place Hotel, Kilometer 5, East West Road, adjacent Obirikwere Flyover, Rumosi, Port Harcourt. Time: 10 a.m. For more information, please call Kainde Paul Obofadi 081-060 41777 or Samuel Ajinwo at 090-454-00744.